Before the sun had climbed the hill, before the roosters cried, she folded up her mother's shawl and stepped into the tide. No one asked her, no one begged her, no one gave her leave. She looked at chains and looked at children and chose which one to leave. Madre, I will send for you when the fields are free again. Until then, hold the house together. I'll hold the gun for them. The road was long, the road was hungry, the road was made of dust. But every woman walking, it was walking there on trust. Trust that somewhere past the mountains, past the smoke, past the pain, her children's children wouldn't have to carry this again. Oh, Adelita, oh, valiente, you were never just a name. You were bullets wrapped in ribbons, you were courage wrapped in flame. They wrote you into corridors, they painted you in song, but the truth was always simpler. You were right where you belong. They say the men were heroes, and the men were, it is true. But who fed the heroes breakfast? Who nursed them when the bullet flew? Who carried water miles in silence, a child asleep against her spine? Who ground the corn by moonlight? Who stood the whole night's watch in line? 1,400 women marching, children counted in the ranks, each one bearing loads as heavy as the rifles in the tanks. No commissary fed the army, no wagon brought the bread. It was her hands and only her hands that kept 1,000 men well fed. Oh, Adelita, oh, valiente, you were never just a name. You were bullets wrapped in ribbons, you were courage wrapped in flame. They wrote you into corridors, they painted you in song, but the truth was always simpler. You were right where you belong. She cut her hair before the mirror, she bound her chest with cloth and care. She gave herself a brother's name and wore his shadow like a prayer. They called her and she answered, shaved a beard that wasn't there. Led 200 men through canyons, never once let slip the air of the woman underneath the collar, the fire underneath the calm. A hand that set the bridges burning, a hand that never shook, never trembled with alarm. When Torreón fell dark and silent, when the city lost its light, it was Petra in the shadows who had turned it off that night. 400 women stood beside her, bandoliers across their chest. And when the smoke had cleared at morning, history gave the crown to someone else. They offered her a Connell's ribbon when a general's was her due. She said, I gave you everything, now watch what I can build anew. She raised her own brigade of women, let no man sleep within her walls. And if you asked her why she did it, she'd say someone has to answer when honor calls. They erased you from the papers, they gave your triumphs to a ghost. But the women who fought beside you knew exactly who did the most. Petra, wherever you are sleeping, this song is a debt we're trying to pay. For the darkness that you gave a city, so that freedom could see the day. Not every soldadera carried rifles into the fray. Some carried needle, thread, and rebozo. Some carried the wounded away. She dragged a stranger's son from gunfire, the way she dragged her own. Tear a shawl to make a bandage, and sit with him till dawn had grown. It didn't matter whose side he fought for, it didn't matter whose flag he bled. In her hands he was only somebody's child, and she'd be damned to leave him for dead. By firelight she'd sing him softer than any corrido ever wrote. Not for glory, not for banners, just to ease a frightened throat. And when he died she'd close his eyelids, say a prayer she barely knew, then rise and gather up her bundle, because the march was calling and there was more to do. Oh, Adelita, oh, valiente, you were never just a name. You were bullets wrapped in ribbons, you were courage wrapped in flame. They wrote you into corridors, they painted you in song, but the truth was always simpler. You were right where you belong.
There was one who wore a soldier's shirt long after the guns went quiet, who kept the name he chose in battle, who never asked the world to buy it. He fought as hard as any brother, bled the same red on the same soil, and when the war was done and over, he didn't hand back what he'd earned through toil. I am who I became out there, among the smoke and dust and stone. You don't get to name a soldier just because the war's gone home. History almost lost its story, folded quiet in a drawer somewhere. But some truths refuse to stay forgotten. Some names insist on filling the air. So here's to every hidden soldier, every name behind a name, every woman, every warrior who fought and was never given the fame. We're saying it now, 100 years later. We see you, we always should have seen. You were never the footnote to the story. You were the story, you were the in-between. The revolution ended the way all revolutions do. Some graves were marked and some were nameless. Some promises stayed forever due. They filed her simply as a wife, though she had marched 1,000 miles. They gave her not a single pension for the years she spent enduring trials. But the corridors kept on singing long after the guns went cold. And every daughter of that country grew up hearing how the story's told. So if you ever doubt your courage, if you ever feel too small to stand, remember there were women walking with a rifle or a wound in hand, who chose the harder road on purpose, who chose the fire over the cage, who wrote themselves in blood and silence onto history's forgotten page. Oh, Adelita, oh, valiente, sing it loud so all can hear. You were never just a legend, you were real and you were here. Every border that you crossed for us, every wound you turned to song. We remember, we keep marching, we know now where we belong.
Para las soldaderas, para las que no tienen nombre en los libros, pero tienen nombre en nuestra sangre. Gracias.
For the soldaderas, for the ones with no name in the books, but a name in our blood. Thank you.